Hi guys, welcome back to Dr. Fitzgerald's Grammar Nuts and Bolts. Today we are tackling grammar issue number 6, comma usage part 2. If you haven't seen comma usage part 1 yet, go ahead and take a look at that one first. Otherwise, let's get started. In comma usage part 1, we learned 4 rules for using commas. With one of the fanboys, coordinate conjunction to link two independent clauses. After an introduction, as long as that introduction is leading to an independent clause. Between all items on a list of 3 or more. And between coordinate adjectives but not cumulative adjectives. And again, these were topics we covered in comma usage part 1. Let's add 2 more rules. Around interruptions and by the way information, but not around necessary or identifying information. We'll have more to say about that in a moment. And number 6, a miscellaneous category. The 5 rules above probably cover about 95% of the commas you'll be using as a writer. So if we have these 5 rules nailed, we'll keep our eyes out for the other 5%. But let's take a closer look at rule number 5. Use commas around interruptions and by the way information, but not around necessary or identifying information. Take a look at this one. My brother John is an attorney. Now the question is how important is the name John to the sentence? The sentence could certainly survive grammatically without John. It's a perfectly decent sentence for me to say, my brother is an attorney. But should we add commas in this sentence, my brother John is an attorney? Well, we ask ourselves, what is the name John doing in the sentence? Now, I am allowed to have more than one brother. I actually have 3. So if I don't tell you which brother, you don't know which brother I am talking about in the sentence. That means the name John is identifying which brother. So the second part of the rule is not around necessary or identifying information. No commas in this sentence. But take a look at this one. My oldest brother John is an attorney. Now how important is the name John to a proper understanding of the sentence? Well, you already told me who the sentence is about, my oldest brother. So adding his name here is just by the way information. Essentially, this sentence is saying, my oldest brother is an attorney. By the way, his name is John. Therefore, we would want to put commas around the name John. How about this one? My favorite brother John is an attorney. Well, how many favorite brothers can I have? Presumably 1. So once again, the name John is by the way information. My favorite brother is an attorney. By the way, his name is John. So once again, we would want commas in this one. How about this one? Faulkner's novel, The Sound and the Fury, is set in Mississippi. Is the name The Sound and the Fury by the way information, or is it identifying information? Well, Faulkner wrote many novels. So if we took The Sound and the Fury out, the sentence would read, Faulkner's novel is set in Mississippi. We might wonder, what novel are you talking about? So in this case, the title of the novel is necessary or identifying information. We don't want to put commas around the title. But how about this one? Faulkner's 4th novel, The Sound and the Fury, is set in Mississippi. How many 4th novels can he have? Only 1. Therefore, the title is by the way information. The sentence has already identified what novel the sentence is about. The 4th novel, we'd want to put commas around The Sound and the Fury. How about this one? Faulkner's finest novel, The Sound and the Fury, is set in Mississippi. Well, how many finest novels can he have? Well, the answer is 1, although you and I may not agree upon what novel is his finest. But the speaker gets to decide. This speaker says that The Sound and the Fury is the finest novel. Therefore, the title The Sound and the Fury is by the way information. We're going to need commas around it. So now all 6 of these sentences is correct. Pause for a moment and take a look and make sure that this is clear to you. Okay, and finally, just sort of a miscellaneous category. There's no way we're going to cover every single comma usage, and we don't want to. But let me just give you a few usages which are not covered in the 5 other comma usage rules. So use a comma to offset a contrast with but. Take a look. I was exhausted but happy. Here a comma breaks up the flow that shows that there is a contrast. We wouldn't want to hear this sentence as I was exhausted but happy. The comma helps emphasize the contrast. Here's another. Around years if a day and year is given. So I own a September 1965 edition of Life magazine. You'll notice that the actual day is not given. So this one is fine. No commas here. However, we got married on July 25th, 1998 in front of our family and friends. You'll notice the year gets surrounded with commas. Here's another. Around country and state names after a city is named. I was born on October 24th, 1958, so that's an exact date. We surround the year with commas. In Mallorca, Spain, we surround Spain with commas, and later moved to San Francisco, California, we surround California with commas, to pursue a career in dentistry. In some ways, these last two rules, put commas around years if it's an exact date, or around the country and state names after a city is named, are actually versions of rule number 5, if you think of the year or country or state as by-the-way information. Okay, just a quick summary of the 5 rules plus the miscellaneous. Use a comma with a fanboys, coordinate conjunctions to link 2 independent clauses. After an introduction leading to an independent clause. Between all items on a list of 3 or more. Between coordinate adjectives but not cumulative adjectives. Around interruptions and by-the-way information, but not around necessary or identifying information. And finally, miscellaneous. As always, thank you for watching. Bye now.